Hi, I'm Burt, the Groton Town Manager, and today is December 30th, 2021.
And I'm LJ Fusaro, the Police Chief and Emergency Management Director.
As we all know, the state is experiencing the highest COVID-19 positivity rate to date. Because of this, the town of Groton is enacting an indoor mask mandate townwide outside of the city and Groton Long Point, which have their own authority in the matter. This mask mandate will begin at 12:01 a.m. tomorrow morning and will affect not only municipal buildings but also private indoor businesses. There are some caveats as have been in place the last time. For instance, if you will not have to wear the masks if your child's under 2 years old, they don't have to wear it. If you have a medical condition that prevents you from wearing it, while you're eating and drinking at a business that serves food and drinks, or for those who are alone in a business or are divided from each other by a partition. The Town Council will be reaching out very shortly to the public to get your input on whether to continue this mandate. Information on this will be forthcoming.
I'd like to explain some of the things that are occurring right now in the town of Groton, but also put it in the context of what is happening across the state of Connecticut. As you're probably aware, the state of Connecticut was able to obtain several thousand test kits, many thousands of test kits that are for use by citizens of Connecticut in their homes. We realize there's a high positivity rate, and so don't state officials. So what they did is they went out and issued a purchase order to a company to provide at-home test kits as a stopgap measure for those who can't get to testing facilities right now. We've seen this increase, but at the same time, some of the places that we've utilized in the past to get tested have closed down. The state hopes to reopen approximately 30 new places across the state of Connecticut for mobile test sites where people can go and get tested. But the interim measure is to utilize a at-home test kit similar to this. It will probably not be this particular item, but it'll be very similar. This is commercially available and has been for some time. They were in some of our local stores. I was able to purchase some. I'm sure many of you have as well. Inside of these, there's 2 testing items. You can take 2 separate tests. The intent is for someone to take a test. If they come back negative, they may take a test a day or 2 later to see if they're still negative. If you want to use this for 2 different individuals in your household, you can certainly do that too. It will give you an indication if you're positive or not. Now, to kind of explain what's happening at the state level, earlier this week, the governor announced that they'd be issuing these to municipalities. Unfortunately, since that time, there's been delays in shipping. I'm sure that's not unusual to any of us, particularly during this holiday season where someone may have ordered a product and it came in later than expected. That's what's happening right now. Earlier today, I spoke with state officials who informed me that what's really going on is that there's warehouses out on the West Coast. Connecticut is not the only entity that's buying these. There's a huge demand for them. It has to be taken from the warehouse. People have to load it onto trucks, put it onto the aircraft, and then brought here to Connecticut. When it gets to Connecticut, our friends of the Connecticut Army National Guard and Air National Guard will be transporting them to local pods throughout the state. Not every municipality. They're doing it regionally. Our emergency management office with Captain B will be going out there retrieving the allotment for the town of Groton. Unfortunately, there are not enough of these for every citizen of Connecticut. In fact, it's safe to say there's a small percentage, maybe 10 to 20%, that would cover that amount of our population. These are issues outside of our control, certainly, but they're also outside the state of Connecticut's control. Again, this is free product, but it's a worthwhile endeavor the state thought was useful to help the citizens of Connecticut to try and get some testing. What we hope to do is when we get first notification that we will be receiving these, we'll put that out to the town. We had hoped to be doing that this afternoon. Our plan was to set up over at Fitch High School, bring vehicles in. You would not have to leave your car. We'd ask that you be masked up. You'd be issued a test kit. You would then proceed out through the middle school to hopefully facilitate a smooth issuance of these. Unfortunately, that's not happening today. Furthermore, we're not quite sure when it's going to happen. We're awaiting word from state officials to say, yes, we have the product on the ground at Bradley International Airport here in Connecticut, and we will be pushing it out to the local pods where you can get them back. I would also like to note that those who may be watching this informational broadcast that do not live in the town of Groton may have other resources available to them. For instance, if you're living in another community Ledyard, New London, Stonington, or the City of Groton, a separate allotment will be issued to you, to your community. I would encourage you to contact officials in those communities. If you live in the City of Groton, please contact the City of Groton officials. They can provide you a little bit of insight as to when they plan to issue them, but they're in the same situation as us. We're all waiting for these items to come in, and we ask for your patience and understanding. Again, this is beyond our control, and we will provide as much information to you as we possibly can when we receive it. It is also our hope that at the same time, we'll be able to provide citizens with some N95 masks. These masks are for your use. That we do not have the capacity to provide any fit testing or anything like that. They're not designed for that, but they are designed for use for those who want to use them, and we will provide those at the same time. We haven't gotten any word when they will be delivered, but we do anticipate them as well. And to facilitate that delivery, we hope to do that at the same time. So again, we appreciate your patience and understanding. We want you to know that the town of Groton is working hard to make sure we give you these deliverables when we get them. We ask that you work with our public safety partners who are partnering with us from both Groton, Long Point, and the fire departments and ambulance services here in town, because we want to make sure we provide them the same modicum of safety we're providing you, but we also want to make sure that when we're able to, we get those out to you. And the last bit of information is we understand that there are people in this community who may be homebound, that may have difficulty making it to this site. If that's the case, I ask that you call the police department at 860-441-6712. Again, that's 860-441-6712. Give the desk officer your name. Tell them that you're calling about the test kits when they become available. We will put your name on a list. We need an address, and we need a callback telephone number. I wish I could say to you we will be able to get one to everyone who asks for them, but the sad fact of the matter is there just is not enough. We will do our best. We will try hard. And we'd also ask and encourage the public to understand that take only what you need. There are a lot of people in this community that have contracted COVID-19 in the last weeks. Our department is no exception. I've had a lot of officers and civilian staff in the last week that have contracted this and that are home recovering with their families as well. I'd ask, take only what you need. We don't need to have a situation where people take it and they don't need it and they have it at home when others really do need it, are experiencing symptoms, and could benefit from the test. So with that, again, on behalf of Town Manager Burt and all the staff here at the Police Department and Emergency Management and town offices across the town, I want to thank you for your cooperation and your assistance, and we hope this information is useful to you and your families. And when we get more, we will certainly put that out. Please check our Facebook, the Groton Town Police Facebook, as well as the Town of Groton's Facebook sites, where we'll have the latest information, and our friends at GMTV will continue to provide you updates on their scrolls and alerts when they receive them as well.